It's very good to be Pahasha TV. It's a very powerful TV which is doing very well in Zimbabwe, and I thank you for such a powerful platform. Oscar Pambuka was born soon after independence in the month of December. We are a very happy people, those born in December. Went to Vanona Primary School, did my primary there before proceeding to also Kwamtoko. I studied journalism and media on a professional level. So in a nutshell, this is Oscar, a father of two, Aisha and Oscar Jr. There are a lot of issues which causes one to be under the influence of drugs, but to me specifically, it was depression. There was a time when my marriage collapsed. I divorced from my wife, isn't? So the emotional pressures were eating me up. I during that time thought that it was the end of the world. I thought that I could not experience love anymore. So I went into a downturn, so to speak. It was very painful. I had no one to talk to. You know, in my case, you know, being known at times, you tend to keep things to yourself. So I was keeping a lot of emotional scars to myself. And this led me now to look for new sort of entertainment or consolation, and I began moving in this draconian world of drugs. This was in 2018. This is when it all began, and ndopandakatanga kutamba nevanhu vandaiona vachirowa zvinodhaka. Ndichivaona ndisandatanga, I used to think kuti asi vana they're always laughing, they're always happy. I see that's the best remedy. Then I took it as a friend, and I started consuming one of the most dangerous drugs on earth, Mutoriro, a psychotic drug. It was as a result of pain, keeping things to myself. I would not say peer pressure. Where can I get that consolation? And drugs became my friend. When I was inside, that is Harare Central Prison, you know, okay, I went in intoxicated on the 19th of January 2023. Mutoriro, you see, Mutoriro was all over my mind. But when I entered into the gates of prison, with time, the drugs began to evaporate from my body. Mutoriro wakatanga kubuda, kupera, because now I was getting adequate sleep. So the healing process began. I began to start eating beans, and there's an order. Unlike the outside world, whilst I was in prison, which was not happening outside. Very serious. They don't want any inmate to be affected by food shortages. So this helped me to recover. That's number one. I also told you that whilst I was outside, sleep had become very much scarce in my life. So prison, I began to sleep. Weight loss, I always say this point, I was losing a lot of weight. The moment you, especially Mutoriro drugs, you will not eat, isn't? You'll be eating junk food, mazepi, which no carbohydrates, no vitamins, no protein. You just be eating junk food. So that became my daily diet before I was arrested. So the weight decreased. I had reached 51. I'm judging by the 19th when I entered into prison. But as a result of the rehabilitation and reintegration of inmates by the correctional service, I regained myself. I regained my health, I regained my weight, I regained my intellect, I regained my cognitive domain. And this, I salute the prisons, because they taught us how to be disciplined. Oscar Pambuka, we are a class, it was a classless society. It helps us to communicate with others. Shandini challenge ye, because you'll be talking to many people who have passed through so many battles in as far as drugs are concerned, and Mazona. So that communication or talking to these people comforted me. One other important thing, wapinda meme wahila ndinotenda Jerry. Uchiona vanhu vachiuya manje new admissions ndopa unoona kuti zveshuwa nandapinda mune imwe world. You see how you behaved nevanhu vari kupinda vanyowani uchiona kuti ndo mavharirwa nandakaita aya. Unenge uchiita kunge chigure, unenge uchiita kunge munhu asiri kuziva zvaari kuita. So ndakadzidza kuti zveshuwa ndiri panze ndaisateerera, ndaitozviramba kuti ndaonda, ndaitozviramba kuti pamwe pfungwa dzakumboita ma-ups and downs. Asi pandaizoona new admissions achipinda, I felt scared and embarrassed at the same time kuti my life had taken a wrong path. Drugs are very dangerous. You see what I'm saying? They affect your relations. Tangira kumba kwacho kwaunogara, the networks become suffocated. Relations between the family is disimpact. Kana wai concentrate nokutsvaga pundutso yemhuri. With drugs you become like a zombie. Apasina zvachaita, you're just thinking of the next take, not productively. So productive wise, drugs kill your momentum. I grew up a very, very hard-working person, but we patangangotanga consumer that toxic, demonic smoke yemutoriro. Ndakatanga kuita nungo, pandaisamboita nungo. Ndakakwanisa kuverengera zvinhu zvandaisamboverengera kare. Ndakakwanisa kusakoshesa my relations andaikoshesa. Ndaitoona under the influence ndingochita zvisina basa. So you lose a lot and no one wants to associate with a druggie. These are the lessons which came about during all this dangerous of life of drugs. And ndakanyasoona kuti in society does not want to associate nema druggies. So look at where I had gone with my life. I was just going to go to the grave. A lot of people my age and other youths, for example, have disappeared on this earth as a result of intoxication. Because these drugs, mind you, they affect the vital organs of the body. I'm talking about the liver, I'm talking about the kidney, I'm talking about the brain cells. So this is what was happening from 2018. Imagine when I partook this demonic world. ZBC, I worked for it from 2000 to 2016. So during the news moment, pamaindoona pa TV pepe, I was very sober. Dear Oscar, we are good zoko. Wamaiona pepe. Ndiri pa news, ndiri pa TV, ndichiviga magamba, ndichita meuti import, ndichita say very sober. And ndoshamisika kuti ndakazopinda same ma drugs ayo. We also need to pray. Prayer is very important because I don't look at it like a drug per se. Se Mutoriro spirit chawaisa mukati meropa rako. Papa uri kutora mweya waisa jambwa. You have introduced poverty into your life. Most people, business people, captains of industry, ma journalists ana Oscar iwa vanorwa Mutoriro. Wakamtarisa mna norwa Mutoriro. Kana anga nemba asisina, kana anga nemotokari zvaparara, mombe zvese zvinoenda kusara wakutotengesa bhurugwa remukati. As an example, these are the dangers of drugs. Hapana munhu waunonyasoona kuti anorwa cocaine kana madrugs anoramba ane pfuma, nokuti madrugs acho anodaidzira addiction yaya inenge chingoti ndisvete. Unonzwa voice iri kutaura newe ndisvete ndisvete. Now this is happening to the youths. Imagine if the youths, isusu my youth, indotenda Mwari ndadzoka, and I'm talking to you as your brother, not as a fundi. Ndutara samkoma wenyu kuti genga madrugs aya mangwana Zimbabwe yacho inoshaya anoitungamirira. Anozoita majournalist acho ndianani? Anozogadzisa nyika yacho kuti magetsi tiwaone ndiani? Nai my youth. Kumining sector kunoshandwa nani? Kuinsurance anozozvita ndiani? Inenge yanyika yakafana nenyika iri padhuze nesu iyo. Ndangopasa example panyaya dzecrime. South Africa ndinoona futi dzinongoya pese pese. Ndo mazomba atinge tagadzira nemadrugs. Ukona vanhu ivo vanenge munhu anorwa madrugs haana moyo, anoita zvese zvese. Ndo zvakaipira madrugs. Ndosaka ndichitenda hurumende, especially Mai Munangagwa, samai venyika, she has played a big part kuti dingindira iri rifambiswe ridzike kuvanhu. And I support her and I congratulate her because she is now treating this as COVID. It's a pandemic. And wakwana ana mama venyika vakupindira kuvana. There's no better remedy than that. And as Oscar Pambuka, a victim aishandisa drugs, mama ndinonyasonzwisisa kupindira kwenyu kwamaita munyaya iyi. It's very important for the youths because your motherly figure zvokurakidza zvinotaurika. Munoziva munhu wemadrugs haadi kutaura kunge ari kuitwa hasha kana kuita kunge ari kuitwa no. Mai vakataura nesu vachitaura nevana, it conscientizes, it softens the mood in the nation. And I salute Mama for that and the entire government on their zero tolerance to drugs. It's a war which needs to be won. And ndo maonera ndiri kuita nyaya iyi. Salute you Mama, we love you so much. The Oscar Taura mai at the Higher Institute of Learning ku college DzekuJeri. It's not the end of the world. This is the greatest lesson I learned from the Zimbabwe Prison and Correctional Services. Vanofana kuombererwa vanhu vaya because you know what? It's an institute makazara madoctor, mune politicians, mune journalists, mune vanhu vanoita agriculture. It's a cosmopolitan crowd in prison. Mune zvese. Guess what? The prison, during that hard time of sorrow, of pain, they identified a skill in me. Ndakasungwa kudaro. Pakati no. Why can't you use your life story as a lesson to other people? And this was a very noble idea. So, together with the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service, my inmates akawanda, anachigodo, to mention but a few, Nana Maititi, female guys, we partnered together and we started to target the most important group in the nation of Zimbabwe, the young ones. So our journey was very interesting, very educational, very informative, touching with testimonies, because these are real stories. Oscar vaanoziya achishamarara kuti sure akatomboitawo problem yemadrugs. Why tichitaura nyaya iyi kwamuri azvishamisireka kuti ndairwa Mutoriro zvinonyadzisa. Asi reason ndiri kukuudza inini se maybe ungakwanisa kunditeerera kuti ona ini ndaiverenga news dzenyika. The news read by Oscar Pambuka. Chona munhu yanga agorwa Mutoriro. So we started moving to the schools, imparting our wisdom, imparting our knowledge and understanding to the youths with the aim of what? Protecting their future. I would not want a young brother and sister to follow the path I once went through. Yokudakwa, yokupera miri, yokuita unge munhu akupenga, yokushaya pfuma. Madrugs ese wawo. And this is the message I'm saying to you, iwe naiwe. Wadi kunditeerera. Ndikutaura ndichibva pamoyo pangu kuti nzira yemadrugs iri very dangerous. Ndosaka takaenda kwa Mutoko, touring the schools in Mutoko, Dombo Shower, Kuwadzana, while in prison, Chitungwiza. We went to Prince Edward school, and I must say the youths are taking the zero tolerance message on drugs very seriously, especially kuchikoro. Do vatiri kufana kuprotecta nhai mhuri yeZimbabwe. These drugs should be kept away from these people. So that became my new agenda in prison. It was like a calling from the Most High. Could Oscar testify and heal your brothers and sisters who are also victims of this? It's a serious issue. Atusko adama drugs in Zimbabwe. You see, just imagine Zimbabwe need 10 provinces, and mu province Tugwana, each and every province, my base Mutoriro, my base is semesa, kanganisa pfungwa, kanganisa economy, because you affect the economic production. Saka, this is an enemy of the state. Madrugs wow. And kana tichitaura, we speak emotionally from the bottom of our hearts. Kuti zibatike kune akatirira. You know what? I must take this time now to thank the multitudes of the Zimbabwean family which has stood by Oscar chero pandakapinda mujeri. It is you guys who motivated me to come up with the podcast. Now, this podcast is going to focus on a multitude of issues: business, politics, entertainment, developmental issues, as per se, because you know what, we want to develop our nation. So I'll use this podcast to pursue that national agenda. You and me should be patriotic citizens. Do you know what patriotism means? The love of your nation. So what are you doing to contribute to the growth of Zimbabwe? I'm going to do it through the media platforms I have, to showcase our country as a peaceful destination, to showcase to the world that Zimbabwe is not a country of drug zombies, to showcase to the world that Zimbabweans are a resilient people who, when they unite, they contribute so much to the development of many spheres of life. So better things are coming in this nation. Better things are coming for Zimbabwe, and better things are coming for those youths who say to themselves, I will not partake in this antagonistic drug world. Get it from us, get it from other testimonies. Zero tolerance to drugs. Let us unite as a people and continue to follow me on the various platforms. I've been here, Papa Hasha TV, tunaita ma productions akasiyana. I've also my social platforms, Facebook. Get in touch with me and let's work together to do developmental issues. Atsulama stories ekuti anopunza nyika kana anoshura nyika. Tikuda kuratidza kuti as Zimbabweans now we are a powerful people. Indakabuda mujeri ndisiri pessimistic. Ndakabuda ndine nzara ye success. I'm hungry to do things for the development. Do advantage pamwe yandinayo kukunda munhu agara ari panze. Isusu titone nzara yekuti my way tingaona kupi mukana tigadzirise nguva yakarasika iyeyo. It's not a good place to be in prison. Akushamisire. Okay. Wakamborara 17 hours. Ausada. Wakambogara world iwe unofarira phone. Hauna. Indakapedza gore usina dollar. Unopinda mtoilet yekuti irupinwa nevanhu 52. Urikuona zvandiri kutaura? It's not a good place for anyone. Saka terera yaka isusu takabva kucollege. Isi takufamba negwara rakanaka. Gwara rinoita kuti isusu mayouth tifambe tichiwana pundutso. Kwete kuita mazombi. I'm Oscar Pambuka, Pahasha TV. I must also say this to you, Pahasha TV. Pahasha TV, you have done a very good job for the godly people of Zimbabwe. Guess what, why I'm saying this? Magaita zvinhu zvinodiwa naMwari kuti during my incarceration, maiti visitira, not only Oscar Pambuka, muchitaura nema inmates akasiyana siyana. May God bless Pahasha TV, because that's the godly thing which is required to visit those bowed down. You did that. Indakatozikanwa ndiri mujeri because of Pahasha TV. God bless you. You are part of my restoration. And Zimbabwe, I love you. Thank you so much for listening to my story. And yes, zero tolerance to drugs. Alright, let's say you want to get hold of me and exchange a couple of notes through my WhatsApp. The number is as follows: +263 772 117 145. Let me take it again from top. +263 772 117 145.